Prince Alif Hussein was a member of one of Malaysia's most respected royal families. But from the very first day of his life, he lived with a condition that left him completely disabled and dependent on the people who loved him for all 31 years of his life. And the story of what his family did for him, what they sacrificed, what they gave up, and what they endured, is one of the most moving stories you will ever hear. So why was his fate so tragic? How did one prince change his entire family forever? And what happened in his final moments that his loved ones would never forget? Watch the full video to find out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get started. Malaysia is one of the few countries in the world that still has a monarchy. In fact, 9 of its 13 states are ruled by their own royal families. One of them is Negeri Sembilan. Since 2008, its ruler has been Tuanku Muiz. He is widely known as a humble and respected man who never sought the spotlight. Before becoming ruler, he built a successful career in business, working in banking and serving on the boards of several companies. Together with his wife, Tuanku Aisyah Rohani, who is also a princess, they had 3 sons. Their youngest was Prince Alif Hussein, a boy who would change their lives forever. Alif was born on September 3, 1984, at Kuala Lumpur General Hospital. But almost immediately, doctors told his parents that their newborn son had suffered a lack of oxygen and vitamin K, causing severe brain damage that would affect him for the rest of his life. His older brother, who was only 7 years old at the time, later remembered receiving the phone call at home and being left to explain to worried relatives what had happened, even though he barely understood it himself. In those early days, Alif underwent several surgeries, including an operation to insert a shunt into his brain, a device that would remain there for the rest of his life. For weeks, his family barely left the hospital. What should have been one of the happiest moments of their lives became the beginning of a lifelong battle. Determined to give their son every possible chance, Alif's parents threw themselves into learning everything they could about his condition. A book called What to Do About Your Brain-Injured Child became their starting point. Eventually, the family traveled all the way to Philadelphia in the United States to join a specialized rehabilitation program at the Institutes for the Achievement of Human Potential. When they returned home, Alif's entire life revolved around an intense daily routine. He underwent patterning therapy to teach his body the correct crawling movements, practiced on an inclined board to strengthen those movements, and received masking therapy, which used a breathing mask to help his body use oxygen more efficiently. At night, he slept with a breathing machine to help regulate his breathing. His father even taught Alif's 2 older brothers how to operate the machine in case it was ever needed. Every member of the family learned how to care for him. As the years passed, Alif's father made an extraordinary sacrifice. He sold his company and gave up his business career so he could devote his time and much of the family's resources to caring for his youngest son. The decision placed significant financial pressure on the family. In fact, both of Alif's older brothers later relied on support from their extended royal family to help pay for their education. And the family was not alone. Aunts, uncles, and friends volunteered several times a week, becoming as essential to Alif's progress as any of his doctors. Because of Alif's special needs, family trips became extremely rare. Between 1990 and 2008, a period of 18 years, the family took only 3 trips, an Umrah pilgrimage and visits to Switzerland and Italy. Every journey was planned around Alif. Was the bathroom large enough to bathe him? Could the hotel prepare his meals properly? How long were the journeys between destinations? Every detail had to be carefully considered. Although Prince Alif generally appeared to be doing well, his health remained fragile, and on at least 3 occasions he had to stay in the hospital for extended periods because of serious complications. Looking back on those difficult years, his older brother later said, "Whenever he became ill, we felt anxious, frustrated, and sometimes even panicked. But Alif always remained calm through every health challenge. He taught me that no matter what happens, we must always remain patient. Alif lived to the age of 31, much longer than many people with his condition were expected to, a testament to the extraordinary love, dedication, and care his family gave him every single day. During his final week, he was heavily sedated and barely conscious. Then, on his last day, he suddenly woke up. Even with a breathing tube still in his mouth, he tried to speak to the family gathered around his bed. According to his brother, it seemed as though Alif had waited until after their father's birthday before letting go, as if, even in his final hours, he did not want his death to overshadow his father's special day. It almost seemed as though he had waited until the birthday celebrations had ended before saying goodbye, his brother later recalled. To our family, it also felt as if he was quietly reassuring us that everything would be all right. On January 15, 2016, Prince Alif passed away at Hospital Kanselar Tuanku Muiz. Around 1,000 people gathered for his funeral, members of the royal family, close relatives, and invited guests, all coming to say goodbye to a prince whom much of the public had barely known. A 7-gun royal salute echoed through the air in his honor, and as it fell silent, his family knelt beside his grave, gently scattering scented water and flower petals over the earth. Then, just as he was being laid to rest, a powerful storm swept across the cemetery. According to Malay tradition, rain during a burial is believed to be heaven's tears, helping a soul on its journey to the next life. Prince Alif was buried beside his grandmother, joining generations of his family who had come before him. Later, his brother, Tunku Ali Redhouddin, paid a heartfelt tribute, saying, "Alif, you helped shape the lives and characters of everyone who had the opportunity to meet you. I am who I am today because of you. I've not been a great student, so I'm by no means perfect, but I'm a far better person than I would otherwise be. Thank you for everything that you have taught me." To honor his memory, the Tunku Alif Hussein Saifuddin Al-Amin Mosque was later built and named after him. Prince Alif never had the chance to live a normal life, and he never lived a long one. But perhaps that was never the measure of his life. Some lives are measured not in years, but in the people they change. Through his quiet strength, his patience, and the love he inspired, Prince Alif changed the lives of everyone around him, and by that measure, he lived a truly extraordinary life. What do you think about Prince Alif's story? Share your thoughts in the comments. And that's it. If you enjoyed the video and want more like it, be sure to leave a thumbs up below in appreciation. And if you haven't already, you really want to subscribe to my channel, and tick the bell icon so you get notified as I upload a new video every week. See you in the next video.